biggest threat to all of us is uncertainty, and not having any sort of idea about when all this is going to come to an end is mental torture almost for lots of us. So
yes.
I'm sure you've seen that firsthand.
Exactly, yes, absolutely. I mean, we go through ups and downs and try and keep in touch with our staff as much as possible. But you go from working at home thinking, actually, this is not so bad, to, what's the point in getting up and sitting in my kitchen again and having a million Zoom calls and just feeling out of touch to, getting used to it again. So it's just ups and downs, really.
Have you seen people, without naming names, it might be an unfair question, but people that have thrived in a pre-lockdown environment that have really struggled, and vice versa, those that maybe weren't as, gregarious and extrovert maybe pre-lockdown, but have really come into their own during lockdown?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially sociable people, they've struggled with not being in our office. It's a good environment. You've been there to the estate office, and we have a real family feel about Blenheim. So whether you're in the estate office or you're working at the palace or on the farm, people who haven't had that contact anymore have struggled, but gradually through keeping contact with them, we've been able to definitely kind of boost their confidence, and then it just becomes the norm again, and you kind of don't feel so insecure anymore. I don't know if I've seen anything the other way around, but yeah, it's just about keeping in contact with people. We have various ways of doing that. So the marketing team, which is brilliant, sends out something called the Flagstaff Echo, which is our newsletter, and we do video. So pick a different people, maybe Dom, maybe Heather, or maybe myself, or an employee, doing a video, reaching out to people, saying how Blenheim's going, or talking about their life. So that's been quite fun doing that. And we also have, so Dom does a Q&A, so ask Dom anything. You can imagine he loves that. So every other Thursday, we have a video call where anybody can join, and it's just really sweet. You see everyone's faces on the screen saying, "Oh, hi," and then they're too shy to ask anything. But sometimes they do. We let them ask questions beforehand as well if they don't want to speak. Yeah. So lots of ways of communicating. We make sure that teams have online meetings as much as possible, even if you've got nothing to say, just to get the group together. And yeah, we have things we call e-shots, which are just emails to everybody. So we might have some mental health advice, or just some activities that are going on. We have quizzes, like pub quizzes online. So yeah, we've really gone for it in terms of making sure that people feel connected with and still feel a part of us, because we very much feel like they are. And yeah, so it's been a challenge, but it's also been a new way of connecting with one another.
How have you found the quizzes have gone down? Have you had many people joining?
Yeah, a few, I think. Yeah, and some people have then done their own quizzes. So yeah, they've gone down really well. Yeah, definitely. We used to do just quizzes here and raise money for charity and bits and pieces. But yeah, they've gone down well.
Did you have themes for your quizzes?
Probably, yes. Yeah, we have a quiz master and they choose the questions. So yeah, that's been quite fun. But also we have mental health champions. So what we've done is, as soon as lockdown was announced and we started furlough, we had somebody who was a mental health champion that was reaching out to those people that were more vulnerable, perhaps living alone, or that we knew was struggling. So we maintain that telephone contact as well, as just the group activities.
And Don was talking to us earlier today about job rotation that you've been doing around Blenheim. And is it right that you had a gamekeeper that gave that helps with lambing?
Yes. So so we have job rotations. So two kind of forms. So one is we immediately had a core group of staff that we kept on, and then we realised quite quickly that the people on furlough were really missing us, really wanted to get back to work, so we started rotating roles. So that would be maybe a palace host swapped with another Palace Hopes for a couple of weeks and then got on furlough. The other thing which you're describing is the sharing of roles. So we had gamekeepers delivering lambs, which was quite an interesting theme. And yeah, just other people sharing and rotating roles. So the core group that stayed at Blenheim were swapping roles. So you might be on doing maintenance one day, or you might be on the front desk the other, and that created a real sense of community and a sense of sharing, which we like here.
We suggested that Dom should appoint a head of job swaps in future, so
Yeah.
keep that going. Do you
Yeah.
think that's something that you will continue?
Absolutely. We've had 2 successful restructures actually, which contain roles that are more flexible across the estate. So it allows for more jobs and it allows people to develop their skills. So yes, absolutely something we'll continue with.
What sort of support have you given to managers? Obviously there's a lot of change at the moment and uncertainty.
Yeah.
Have you had to step up the support that you've given to your managers?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with management support is, your employees are happy when they've got good management support. So a part of Blenheim has always been to give good training and development to our managers. So just before lockdown, we had a management development programme delivered by the Oxford Group, which was focusing on how to engage with employees, how to support staff, but also HR do a range of how to manage people, how to motivate people, how to do grievances, investigations, so that they have that knowledge, because people who feel more confident in their management role generally have more confident staff. So we do quite a bit of support for managers.
And in terms of roles that you'll need to fill going forward, do you think job descriptions will change slightly and you'll be looking for people that can multitask more?
Yeah, they already have. In some areas they're always going to be quite specialists, but yeah, we've already changed quite a variety of roles to be more multifunctional, yes.
And what's your biggest sort of challenge at the moment now, sort of managing the 400 plus staff that you've got?
Just, I guess, managing remotely, you feel a tiny bit out of it sometimes, and of course we've just done a recent employee survey where we've asked people how they're feeling, and perhaps they would like a bit more presence, and during this time it's difficult because you have to remain distant, so I think people are understanding of that. But for me, that's the challenge. We're such a family, we're used to doing everything together, having a good community, being very close, and so it's just managing that and reassuring people that we're still there and we're still the Blenheim family.
So do you get lots of staff that aren't working coming in as visiting public?
Yes, yes, all the time, yeah.
More so than ever before, I should imagine.
Probably, yeah. This is weird, having a place that you want to come to socially as well, but yeah, we're very lucky for that.
So you've been doing a lot of video during this time, and Dom's been doing some as well. Can you tell us a bit more about that? Has that helped people to stay connected?
Yes, I think so. So lots of video calls, like daily in my case, with our management group, the SMT, and my staff and my team, as well as taking them out for lunch occasionally, social distance lunches. And then the video messages have been really useful, and I think we'll continue with those, because if nothing else, even if they don't read the rest of the newsletter, they like to see the video of maybe the foresters doing something, or the gardeners, or Dom giving a business update or something like that. So I think we'll continue with that.
Did you do one yourself?
I did one. I decided it'd be a really good idea to do one while the lambs were being born in the lambing shed, and it was really noisy and it was a real disaster, but it gave it a pretty good.
Is that available on YouTube, or is it
I'll send it to you.
Yeah. You must do. Excellent. Brilliant. So in terms of moving forward now and sort of next 6 months of Blenheim, what do you see happening with the continued loss of events and corporate functions? Is it, do you as a head of HR, obviously you've got your team around you, but do you work with other HRs in local businesses, getting support from them and understanding how to face these challenges as well? Yeah,
exactly, absolutely. So I'm part of the HR Treasure House Forum, and partly that's us calling each other for moral support because HR needs somebody to go to too, and other, you know, and also it's for, you know, getting updates on their businesses and how they're doing, and so yeah, it's useful to get that feedback. Going forward, we just hope for the best. We're optimistic. We did Salon Privé just recently. We've done the triathlon, and we just hope things will get back to normal as soon as possible. I think we've been less affected than other places, so we're very lucky in that way. But we are optimistic.
So getting back to normal, does that mean that you're going to be working from home? Is working from home going to be a normal part of culture at Blenheim? Or have you looked at it? What else you might do?
I think it's changed a lot of companies actually, and I think for the better. So I think working from home will become the norm where we can, but we do want to open the offices also when we can, because people are missing that from our recent staff survey. It's very 50-50. Some people are quite happy from working from home, but other people would like, you know, to be in at least a couple of days. So yeah, I think it's great for flexible working. It's good for work-life balance. It's good for working parents. So I think we will continue with that. We do have for people coming back into work a special kind of induction. So making sure that they've done their you know, checking that they've got all the right equipment, if they're coming back on site, that they've got their safety induction and that they know what they're doing in terms of those rules. So inducting people back in and working with the new, like, Blenheim world has been quite a task for myself and the health and safety lady Lucy as well, just to make sure that, you know, we're not just throwing people back in at the deep end.
How have you found, with people being furloughed, how have you found that's been from a keeping in touch point of view? Furlough has been hard for people on furlough, and I think the people on furlough want to be working and the people working think they want to be on furlough. But it's undoubtedly, it's made, I think, you realise how much people are committed to Blenheim and to their jobs and to this place, because they just have missed it so much. So we've just made sure that everything we do, we've kept in touch with those furloughed people, making sure that they're being called personally if they're vulnerable, or they're getting the newsletters, they're getting invited to the DOMS Q&As, or they're getting regular, like, just being in touch with their managers as well. To begin with, a lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, can we still do something? Can we do? And of course, with the rules, you are not allowed to work. So it's very hard to tell people, you know, you can't work, you're not allowed to. But soon, kind of, people get used to that, and then with the rotations, that helped because it gave people hope with coming back. And how have you managed your own well-being during this time? It must have been a very busy time for you.
Really, really busy, but I've got a great team. Dom and the SMT are very candid about their own well-being and their own mental health issues, and I think it has to absolutely come from the top. So if you're struggling, I could easily talk to any one of them. And actually, even our employees and the managers and the staff, you know, when we have announcements or we're going through something, there will always be 1, 2 or 3 people that will phone me and say, and how are you? So that's just the family feel again that we have here.
What's the culture like? It feels like a really lovely place, Blenheim. It's always nice coming here. What's the culture like to work here?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I do feel lucky. So I came here when I was little, and I take my children here. So it's amazing to work here, and it is a good culture. But we have something called the Blenheim behaviours, and I think that helps with people's mental health as well. So how you deal with people, how we are as a business. If you want to come and work here, this is what you should expect to be treated like. So we have 5 behaviours, one of which is keeping our promises, one of which is saying being honest with kindness. And so we do have certain rules by which we, you know, it's not what you do, it's the way that you do it and the way you carry out your tasks and how you behave and interact with one another. So yeah, the culture is good. It's very, very close and very family-like.
Yeah.
Anybody watching today that wants to get a bit of that Blenheim magic into their business? Wow. It's clear that there is something here which is very special, and it's come through on the videos that we've shown, speaking to you guys and getting to know you well over the past few years. What would your advice be to them over what you've learned during lockdown, and how that they can. You know, if you were put somewhere else in another business, Megan, let me ask from that point of view, what would you take from here into that business as sort of bankers that would help you engage with a new team?
Probably just, you know, the simple things that everyone talks about that they want, and that's, you know, good management support, good communication, and just being candid and honest with people and treating people like human beings. It's, you know, it's easier in a place like this because you recognise so many people, and there's a lot of you know, love and support from, you know, families and generations work here. But yeah, I would just say just communication, listening, doing employee surveys, just listening really, and it's really like working hard. So you want to work hard for a company that works hard for you.
And take Dom with you, maybe that'd be a good start.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Megan. Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you joining us, because we thought we were going to see you on the little screen over there. So,
You're
but
welcome.
it seems like winter has come upon us since you sat in that chair. So if you look around,
really
it's actually chucking it down.
Normally
so,
I bring sunshine, so I'm sorry about that.
never mind. Are you walking back to so the estate office now, which is
So I'm
fantastic new office that you had?
Yeah,
You had,
I know.
what, just over a year's use. and now
Literally
it's-
the most gorgeous office you could ever work
Yeah.
in, with the views and the scenery, you know, like ceiling to floor, glass windows. But some people are still in there when they have to. But yeah, I'm not there at the moment.
So how often are you actually in? Are you
Only on a need by, like if I have to meet with somebody,
Yeah.
then I go in. But other than that, I sometimes go for a pizza at the Pleasure Garden, which is what I'm going to do now actually. Go for a pizza at the Pleasure Garden.
This lot might go with you, I think, if you
Well,
might be a trailer. Well, lovely to see you, Megan.
And
Thank you very much for joining us, and
Thank you.
enjoy your pizza. What are you going to have?
I will.
Wellbeing
Mushroom.
pizza.
Mushroom every
Mushroom.
time.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Megan. Thank you for your
And
time.
you too.